Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds.
Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous 2-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month.
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by AWS. Amazon Q Business is the generative AI assistant that can securely understand your business data, summarize results, and streamline tasks. Learn what Amazon Q Business can do for you at aws.com/learn more.
God, a calling to serve, to fight for the freedoms of the American people. And every story has a struggle, a sacrifice, and invisible wounds. Warrior Watts programs help veterans recover from PTSD and invisible wounds through exercise, nutrition, and connecting with other veteran leaders. It is estimated that 22 veterans die each day by suicide, and another 30 veterans die each day by substance abuse. These are preventable deaths. Warrior Watt is committed to fighting PTSD through fitness, nutrition, and community. Got the privilege and opportunity to support our heroes in their time of need. Will you join us and take action?
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Did you serve in the military? If so, you can obtain a free lifetime pass to more than 2,000 federal recreation sites. These sites are located across more than 400 million acres of public lands, including national parks, wildlife refuges, and forests. The lands host activities to fit any lifestyle: hiking, biking, fishing, camping, and much more. Gold Star families are also eligible for these free lifetime passes. Plus, they cover entrance fees for a driver and all passengers in a car, or up to 3 additional adults at sites that charge per person. Obtaining one is easy. Just go to the National Park Service website, nps.gov, or the National Park Service app.
All right. Welcome back. MisFitNation. We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their story to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the Misfit Nation. If you're a musician or actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share some of your tips with the Misfit Nation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you're a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and share how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you're a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and just share your story with the Misfit Nation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or are embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you're a new listener, welcome to the Misfit Nation. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast apps and also on our YouTube channel at @_Misfit Nation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date with our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show. All right. Welcome. Special show today. It's always good when I link up with veterans online and you're able to get that virtual connect and meet and greet online. It's even better when they agree to come on the show. So our next guest is a U.S. Navy veteran who served as a radarman. Once he finished his time in the Navy, he became a blogger and YouTube creator showcasing his passion in travel. He is now president of militaraffairs.com, helping members of the military and veterans and family members get discounts on travel. So without further ado, let's welcome to the show Scott Lara, U.S. Navy veteran and president of militaraffairs.com, to the show. Welcome, Scott.
It's an honor to be on this show. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for what you're doing. When I heard the intro talking about veteran suicide and helping veterans, that is just absolutely critical. Those of us in the veteran community do have to work together to make sure that not one more veteran commits suicide, especially in the parking lot of a VA facility. And I appreciate what you, your show, and your team is doing to help prevent that. It's very close to my heart, and thank you.
It's an honor for us to serve those are our brothers and sisters who need the help to stay with us a little longer. And the parking lot thing really gets me a lot, because I drove by one of the parking lots in North Carolina where one happened a couple weeks ago, and you can feel a chill go down your spine when you drive by that, because you know it happened right there. And you don't want that to happen again to one of our brothers or sisters. So that's why we do this. And I know you're out there, you're pushing it too on your side. Yeah, and you'll just keep pushing it, and I'll keep pushing it until like you said, that number dwindles until maybe everyone's here and just living a good life.
And just a shout out to the Fire Watch here in Florida. A gentleman by the name of Nick Howland founded the Fire Watch, and the listeners can Google that, and they are committed to helping stop this suicide. And it's just like what you say in your opening there about the darkness. When you come close to that darkness, and I'll tell you, on a personal level, I've been depressed. I felt down myself, and I'm here because of my grandkids. I'm here because of my wife and kids. As you mentioned, I'm a Navy veteran. I did see a lot of my guys suffer through this. But on a positive note, again, what your show was talking about that I'm so appreciative of is those of us who have kind of made it on the other end, who are working and have worked to do something to find a passion to be able to continue.
Definitely. Appreciate that right there, and I appreciate the shout out for the Fire Watch there as well. They'd be a great asset for the show too, to have them on to share the tools and share the highlights to everybody. So Scott, I gave basically a 2-sentence blurb about you here, but I want you to tell the audience a little bit more about Scott, from the reason before you went in the Navy, why you joined the Navy, and why you became a radarman, and then how we get to where we are now.
That's a very good question. Well, I grew up 40 miles west of Chicago in Aurora, Illinois. And if you remember Wayne's World, excellent, from Saturday Night Live, Aurora, Illinois. If you look at that, you can YouTube it, you'll see it. And so Aurora, Illinois, great city. And so I graduated from high school in 1979. I was working at the Kmart camera department back in the day, and that's back in the day before digital and all this stuff. So I was selling film, and I used to do the blue light specials. Good afternoon, Kmart shoppers. Welcome to your North Aurora Kmart in the camera department, just off the center aisle of the store. Focal 110 film, 27 exposure, $199 at the blue light. So I did that, and my assistant manager looked at me and he goes, "Scott, what are you going to do when you graduate from high school?" And I said, "I know I don't want to go to college." He goes, "Join the Navy, see the world." Problem is, he didn't tell me that the world was 75% water. But anyway, I joined the Navy, and I went in. When I went in for orientation and all that, what do you want to do? And they said, "You want to be a fire control technician, because after you take your ASVAB." And I said, "No, I don't want to fight fires." And the guy laughed at me. He goes, "Well, how about being a radarman?" I said, "Now that sounds cool. I'm probably in a nice area. I'll be working 9 to 5. It won't be that hard." And so, and they said, "You're going to Chicago for boot camp." I said, "No, I'm not. I'm going to San Diego." And they said, "Okay, you're going to San Diego." So they flew me to San Diego for boot camp, and this is in '79. And then I went to OSA school, radar school in Dam Neck, Virginia. Went up to Maine to get my ship, Morison FFG 13, U.S.S. Samuel S. Morison, and it was in 3 pieces. So they were building the ship at Bath Iron Works, sailed down to Boston, was commissioned there. I came down to Jacksonville, Florida, where I met my wife of 39 years. And so I really loved the Navy. I really did. I loved seeing the world, Italy, Spain, France, off the coast of Iraq and Iran. We were doing, protecting the ships there, Straits of Hormuz. Met a bunch of great guys who I'm still friends with today. And so that's kind of my, my backstory on the Navy.
That's outstanding. I've also seen that you wrote that you were there when the Falklands kicked off as well. So that's
a very interesting story too, because, in the Navy, we have a tradition called cross-decking, where, we're staying with the Brits, the Turks, the French, the Italians. And my captain asked me if I wanted to go over to the British ship, the HMS Leader, for a week. And I did, and I don't remember very much about that week because the Brits kept me intoxicated that whole week with tins of ale. And so I came back to the quarterdeck of the Morison. I saluted the captain. He goes, "Congratulations, Pedalso Lara. I'm giving you the Navy Achievement Medal from being an ambassador of the United States." Like, cool. And so after the Morison, I went to Key West. I was an instructor down there. Our daughter was born there, so she's an official conch. Then I got some pretty good duty up at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. I pulled a string because I was supposed to go out to sea. And so I was running a hospital barracks. Other end of that story is if you've seen those TV commercials for polluted water at Camp Lejeune. Fortunately, I do not have one of the 15 diseases, thank God. But I was at Camp Lejeune, and then I went up to Norfolk. I was on CG 47, Ticonderoga, and then I was able to get out. I'll tell you, I got out on a humanitarian discharge because the Navy was very hard on my wife. It was really hard me being away. We had 2 small children, so I was able to get a humanitarian discharge, which is still honorable, and then just went about my civilian work. And I got into the travel industry, being a travel agent, and that's been a lot of fun.
Well, I bet. I mean, after seeing a lot of the world from the water side and then being able to get into port and see what the local culture is about, sure you wanted to actually go out there and enjoy it without having to run back to the ship in time to salute the quarterdeck captain or whoever is out there telling you salute and get on back on the ship on time. This time you can go to a hotel, take a shower, and maybe enjoy the whole stay. So I'm sure
the food,
out. And the food, yes.
You're exactly. The food's a lot better. The accommodations are better. The entertainment's better, and a lot more fun. Absolutely.
A lot less stress too, so that's good. And what's the best place you went to as soon as you got out?
Oh, when I got out of the Navy, McDonald's, I guess. I mean, going to get a quarter pounder with cheese. But yeah, my wife and I like Ruth's Chris and Morton's Steakhouses and all that stuff. But it's funny. We were getting ready to go on like a 2-month little deployment, and I got like 8 quarter pounders with cheeses and put them in the refrigerator down. I knew that one of the guys down in Mass, and we would microwave those every day. And where'd you get those quarter pounders with cheeses? But I love the Navy. I really did. And a bunch of great guys. I will say that one of my shipmates was killed on the U.S.S. Stark. We served together on the Morison, and he went over to the Stark that got hit by that Exocet missile, and we honor him every year. But there's nobody like us, and those in the audience, if you're in the military, and especially if you're suffering from substance abuse issues or, PTSD or anything, trying to talk to a civilian about those problems is tough, but talking to a fellow military person about those things and getting the help you need, I think is important. And I did a little bit of that, even though I'm still doing my travel stuff. I worked a little bit in the substance abuse recovery lane, helping veterans get into substance abuse recovery for alcohol, drugs, and that stuff. But again, to all those in the audience, if you need help, please don't wait another minute. Don't wait another day. Reach out to get the help you need because it's out there.
I was referencing what location did you go to stress-free first? Not McDonald's, but that's good. Funny story. When we were in Iraq, we were there, I think 7 months at the time, and we were just eating MREs and chow hall, whatever they made there once in a while. And I had to go to Baghdad. Our vehicle got blown up on the way. So we were in there, and I had a Burger King there. So I had money in my wallet. I bought 50 Whoppers. I said 50, and there was a Philippine lady. She said, "How many?" 50, 50. So she made the 50, and we drove them all the way back to our base to hand them out to everybody. Here's your reward. You made it. You made it. Gave them all Whoppers. Got pretty sick from eating 2 of them because I hadn't had real food in so long, but it was a good time.
Well, God bless you for doing that. I cannot think of a better. I mean, you could probably be like Mr. Beast or somebody handing out $100 bills, but handing out those. God bless you.
Yeah. They loved me when they had to run to the porta potty later, but it was good at the time. So what was the best location you went to? Not McDonald's, please.
Oh, in the Navy? You mean when I was in the Navy?
Once you got out.
Oh, when I got out of the Navy?
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting you asked that question because when I got out of the Navy, my wife and I started cruising a lot on a Holland America line. So we've been to Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, Martinique, St. Barts, St. Kitts, St. Thomas. And so I guess one of my favorite places to go is St. Barts. French, it's expensive, but when you're at St. Barts, you know, you're always looking for Charlie Sheen or Jennifer Aniston to walk by on the beach. So St. Barts is my favorite place.
Outstanding. And how long did your blog and your YouTube stuff, your YouTube creator side go on about traveling before you wound up saying, hey, someone said, hey, I want you to take this job?
You know, that is, your questions are spot on. Here's the thing. I won a flip camera like 12 years ago, just a little flip kind of a camera thing. You'd laugh at it if you saw it today. And when my wife and I were going on cruises, my motive for doing my YouTube, now this is 12 years ago. I mean, YouTube's not what it is today. My motive for doing YouTube videos was to make my family and friends jealous. So if you look at my YouTube channel, just type in Scott Lara, L-A-R-A, like and subscribe. You will see my videos where, hi, this is Scott Lara, 1961 on Twitter, on board the Carnival Fascination, February 15th, 1999, heading to St. Thomas. And so it started growing and growing and growing. And my local TV station here in Jacksonville, WJXT Channel 4, reached out to me. And they said, hey, listen, you seem to know what you're doing here about travel. Would you like to be a guest on like Sunday mornings? And so once a month or so, I'm on Channel 4 giving tips like about passports, travel, especially through COVID. I mean, when COVID hit, I mean, cruising was shut down. So I immediately pivoted to all-inclusive resorts. And the Palladium Hotel Group reached out to me and said, Scott, we will send you to Jamaica, Cancun, and the Dominican Republic. Please cover our all-inclusive resorts. And they were open. So they flew me out there, and I was continuing to do the cruisegenius.com, doing my posts. And recently, I'm over like 1,100,000 views on my YouTube channel. I'm having a lot of fun, sharing my passion and tips on YouTube. And that's the fun part because I always wanted to marry my passion of being a veteran with being a travel advisor consultant. And so about a week, this is August, it was about the middle of August, I got a call from the owner of militaryfairs.com and said, Scott, I love what you're doing. I need a new president to do this. And I said, absolutely. So now as the president of militaryfairs.com, our website gives members of the military, veterans, and family members discounts on travel. And it's kind of like an Expedia or Travelocity. You jump on there, click, 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 and, you're off to the races. And so, I don't wear this on my shoulder, but, God's really kind of directed my path on all this. Being in the military, my passion travel, and now landing this amazing gig. And I'm very thankful for it.
It's awesome. And I think I'm on the website now, militaryfairs.com, and it says that it's about the armed forces and stuff, 650 airlines, 300,000 hotel and holiday rentals around the world. So that's a lot right there. That should be able to please at least some of the even more finicky veterans and spouses that want to go around the world.
Well, it's so funny you say that because a lot of Navy guys I talk to, I'll never go back on a ship. Cool. Well, I can send you on a Carnival cruise, MSC cruise. I can send you to the Palladium Hotel Group, all-inclusive resorts where you go and you're done. All your food's covered, meals are covered, entertainment's covered, one price. And so, it's a lot of fun. And again, going back to what we're talking about those guys who are depressed or down or whatever, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not an oncoming train. So if you can, and that's what I want to talk about is gratitude. Number one, you got to be grateful. We live in the greatest country in the world. Most of us, unless you're a homeless veteran, but most of us have a place to sleep, hot and cold running water. We do have some family members that love us, and you just got to kind of dig in there. And if I can tell you too, I'd recommend you follow a guy by the name of Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, on social media. He's been my mentor for years, and he talks about gratitude and compassion. And so, guys, ladies, no matter how bad you've got it, I mean, look in the news, Africa, the subcontinent, Sahara, there are people that have it a whole lot worse than we do. And you just got to dig in and say, thank God, we live in this country. It's not perfect, but it's the best one out there. And talking about McDonald's, I mean, most of us are, 5 to 10 minutes away from a McDonald's. So we're very blessed in this country. That's what I'm trying to say to the audience.
5-10 minutes away from McDonald's, and for us here, you're about 7 steps away from a Dollar General. So it's good. They're everywhere.
You're right.
Yeah, so you got to know what you have. Be grateful for what you have before you don't have stuff. There's always someone that has it worse than you. Don't complain about things that you could fix in a day or fix in a couple of days, and don't make those permanent solutions to temporary problems.
Amen. And the thing is, I'm 62 years old and I still have my hair. So, I mean, that's something I'm really grateful for. And I will say, I just came back from the VA a couple of days ago, had my colonoscopy, my prostate exam, all that stuff. Guys, please, if you're not, ladies too, if you're not registered in the VA, please get registered there. Get the help you need if it's emotional, psychological, medical. My VA here in Jacksonville, Florida is doing a great job with us. They take very good care of us. And I know a lot of people have bad stories about the VA, but again, I guess it does depend where you're at, but I can tell you here in Jacksonville, I applaud them.
Here in Tennessee, where our VA is like attached to Vanderbilt University Hospital. So
right.
You have a lot of world-class doctors that are in the VA. The problem is getting the appointments. That's where the backlog is, getting those appointments. But if you can just be patient or request in the population care, they'll let you do that as well. And
that's absolutely right. Because I've worked with community care quite a bit. And really briefly, I mean, I wear VA hearing aids. I'm actually able to do this interview on my hearing aids. And they said it'll be like 6 months for a hearing audio appointment. I said, no, it's not. And I called my congressman and I said, hey, I know him personally. I said, John, and he goes, stay by the phone. And they referred me to community care. So again, you have to be respectful. You have to be kind. You have a lot of civilians working in the VA and they're seeing people every day. But if you're kind and nice to them, hey, I need your help. 9 times out of 10, they'll help you. And if they say there's an appointment 6 months away for whatever it is, I'm requesting community care, and 9 times out of 10, they'll get you that help you need.
Definitely. And just like be persistent, be patient. And like in your case, reach out to those, reach out to that network that you have and make your lawmakers work for your constituents like they're supposed to.
You're right.
Scott, how does someone reach you if they want to talk to you like we are now, just chatting, or if they want to talk to you about militariaffairs.com?
You can email me at scott@militariaffairs.com. And also you can just Google my name, Scott Lara, Lara. I'm on LinkedIn, YouTube, everywhere. And if there's anybody in the audience that wants somebody to talk to, I'd be happy to talk to them about anything, getting the help you need, about giving you inspiration, and just being there for you. And it's an honor to do that.
Outstanding. And Misfit Nation, make sure you take them up on that. Like we both have harped on throughout this show. You're not alone. You have friends, you have family, you have fellow brothers and sisters and veterans that are willing to sit on the phone with you or sit on a chat like me and Scott are right now and talk to you until you feel a little more, less pressure on your chest, less pressure on your mind, and you're able to go through your day, and maybe we can get you help along the way.
Absolutely.
Scott, if you can give our audience 3 tips for a great travel experience, what would that be?
Oh my gosh. Number 1, book early. Do not wait until the last minute. There's so many people, my friend, that will say, hey, Scott, I want to go on a cruise next week. Cool. I'll get you on the ship. I'm going to save a bunch of money. Well, all the good cabins are gone if you're talking about a cruise. So if you go on at the last minute, you're going to be by a bow thruster or you're going to be by the galley. So, don't wait till the last minute. Number 2, do not go to Costco and buy your cruise or vacation there. They lure you in at Costco. Come into Costco. We will give you, this cruise, whatever, a $500 gift card to Costco. Well, that guy behind the counter who sold you the cruise or the all-inclusive resort vacation, has not been to Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, Martinique, St. Barts, St. Kitts. I have. So I can give you those tips and those hidden gems, and it doesn't cost you anything. You're not paying out of pocket for me a commission. The cruise line or the resort will pay me to, promote them. So you have to worry about that. Number 3, again, you have to set your expectations. I mean, nothing in life is perfect, right? So don't expect to go on a cruise, go on a ship, go on a plane or go anywhere and think everything is going to be perfect. It's kind of like when my daughter was getting married. I said, honey, I know this is your day. You've been planning this since you were 3, but expect bumps in the road. So you got to be patient. And that's one of my faults. I mean, I'm not a very patient person. I'm kind of type A. I want things done quick. And I've got to really rein myself in, especially when I'm with my wife. I will tell my wife, honey, keep up. Don't wander off. So I've got to really be patient. So those are my top 3 things.
Outstanding, Scott. Thanks again for taking some of your time today to jump on with the Misfit Nation and share your tips, tricks, and, of course, your history with the Misfit Nation.
And I want to applaud you for this podcast. Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing for Misfit Nation, for our veterans. Keep up the great work, and I appreciate you so much.
Awesome, Scott. Have a great day.
Bye.
In October 2019, Arlington, Texas was chosen to be the home of a new national museum, unlike any other. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a unique home of military history. The 100,000 square foot museums will house exhibits, archives, and artifacts relating to the 3,500 U.S. troops who have been awarded the medal, the nation's highest honor for valor in combat. The museum will have 31,000 square feet of galleries dedicated to U.S. troops who have received the award. The museum CEO, former Navy SEAL and NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy, said the museum will focus on education as much as preservation. The building will have 5 areas dedicated to Medal of Honor winners from the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. The main gallery will be located in a central plaza under a 25,000 square foot slab of steel, which will appear to be suspended in midair. It will be supported by 5 pillars. Black Rifle Coffee is a corporate sponsor of the museum, as are the Dallas Cowboys. The museum's board also includes over a dozen major corporations and 6 Medal of Honor recipients, including David Bellavia, Patrick Brady, and Britt Slabinski. Army Staff Sergeant Bellavia was awarded the medal for clearing an entire house by himself on November 10, 2004, as a squad leader in support of Operation Phantom Fury in Fallujah, Iraq. He killed 4 enemy fighters and wounded a 5th in close quarters battle. Army Major General Brady flew and coordinated the evacuation of 51 seriously wounded men during a firefight in Vietnam in January 1968. Slabinski, a Navy SEAL chief and team leader, led a rescue team of SEALs during Operation Anaconda in Afghanistan in March 2002. Slabinski and his team flew to a mountaintop ambush site to rescue Petty Officer First Class Neil Roberts, who had fallen from the back of a helicopter. Slabinski led the team through almost constant combat against an entrenched Taliban force. Along with the board members, former presidents Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama serve as honorary directors. The museum is expected to open to the public in late 2024.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. It's themisfitnation.com to catch up on all of our episodes and also to get some of that great Misfit Nation gear. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because we are